Hey, hearty welcome again everyone at Rocket Railways. So as today you can see, we're looking at the Bobo Class 25 of Hornby in double O gauge, and that's the BR green. Now if you look at the locomotive here, you will see the great finishes and great paintwork and this light blue safety line at the bottom, as well as the British sign and the old doorway and the cab glass and the air intakes and the roof, and the numbering is quite well done as well. So if you look at the logo here, you'll also see that it's got the decoupler. It hasn't got sprung buffers, but the finishes are still quite good, and it's got the light in the code light, so when it's running on opposite direction or whichever direction the light is on. So we're looking at the box. Here's the description: BR Class 25 Bobo Diesel Electric by Hornby Railways. And this is an old box. It's a bit tatty, but nevertheless the logo has got sentimental value for me. So if we're moving on, here is the box description, and that's just to say it's Hornby R072, the description of the model by Hornby. And just again the look of the box as I received it, bit tatty, so it has been played with, but overall the locomotive is definitely running nicely on the layout, and I've got no issue with it performing. It's actually pulling a lot of freight wagons as well as coaches, but on the freights I was really concerned because I wasn't sure how many freight wagons I can actually, closed up wagons I can actually do fit on the loco for the purpose, but it did run well, and you'll see on the video shortly how it runs on the layout. Alright, so while the locomotive is running around the layout, let's hop into the history of this logo. And I would just like to say at this point, this is one of the reasons why I like the hobby so much. It reminds me of my siblings, my brothers that have long time passed, and my father that long time passed, and my grandfather, with the toys and the history. So that is why I'm so passionate about the hobby, and it makes me feel closer to my family always. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that it also brings some kind of joy to you if you are a fellow hobbyist and keeping the hobby alive. It doesn't have to end with the boys, the girls can always hop in. But having said that, thank you so much all my current subscribers for your support on my channel and for your comments, and also the same to all the new viewers out there. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and I hope that you will enjoy the content, and that if you feel like it, please give me a thumbs up or leave a comment, and while you're at it, subscribe if you like. So moving on to the history of this locomotive, in 1977 Hornby Railways launched its first version of the BR Class 25 in double O gauge, which is this locomotive, and then Bachmann and Helgen and Suttons were soon to follow. So the Bobo referring to the wheel alignment or wheel arrangement of the class. It's wheel arrangement of the class. So that was the 1955 class, which was the class types, a 1955 class D12/1, and the pre-tops class 12/1, and that tops class 25, and that was in real life. So Hornby really reflected this on this model when they actually developed this. So manufactured by Bayer and Peacock Limited, the first 36 of the Bobo Class 25 locomotives were built, and then Darlington Works 65 units were built, and in Derby Works 226 locomotives were built, and the number ranges range from D5151 to D5299, and then also the D7500 to D7677. So total number of locomotives successfully built was 327. Now, rail fans referred or named these locos as the rats, as it was alleged they could be seen anywhere and everywhere in Britain, and hence were as common as rats where it came from. So the drivers used to call them spluts, owing their habit of spluttering when they broke down, which they often did. British Rail Class 25, also known as the Sulzer Type 2, is a class diesel locomotive built between 1961 and 1967. They were numbered in two series, D5151, D5299 and D7500 to D7677. The first 25 locos became known as the Class 25-O and were built at BR Darlington Works. The Class 25-1 locomotives were built in Darlington and BR Derby Works. The Class 25-2 locomotives were built at Derby with the same build style as Darlington. The final batch of locomotives were designated Class 25-3 and built by Derby Works and Bayer Peacock and Company of Manchester. The Class 25s were primarily designed for freight work, but a significant number were fitted with boilers for heating passenger trains. Throughout the 1970s, they could be found at work across the whole of the British rail network, although the eastern and southern regions never had long-term allocations. Though regular performers into the early 1980s on Crewe and Cardiff passenger trains, they are best known in their respect for the use on the summer Saturday trains to Albury strength, a task they relinquished in 1984. The final Class 25 locomotive was withdrawn from operational service in March 1987, although it continued to be used in enthusiast specials until March 1991. The Class 25-2 number sequence D7500 to D7597. So this locomotive of Hornby is a D7596 locomotive. They featured restyled bodywork and two-tone green livery similar to that carried by the Brush Type 4, the Class 47. The majority were built at BR Derby. The redesign principle affected two areas, the cab and the location of the air intakes. The gangway doors, fitted to the early examples, were rarely used. The 25-2s built at Darlington had the original bodywork and not the restyled design. The Class 25 locomotives were initially delivered to London Midland and Scottish regions. The class were a direct replacement in the west of England. The last operational Class 25 was 25322, which was withdrawn on 23 March 1987. It was then restored by apprentices at Lead Holbeck Shed, including repainting in BR two-tone green and having its original number of D7672 applied. In this form, it worked rail tours over the Settle Carlisle line between 1989 and 1991. So the 20 Class 25s survived in preservation. So yes, only 20 of these locomotives survived into preservation and some were still on hold for restoration. So we'll see a couple of these images following shortly. So let's have a look at the locomotive run on the layout, and let's enjoy every minute of it. And once again, the locomotive is definitely an asset to any hobbyists on their layout, and all the different liveries make it ever more so exciting. So thank you everyone once again for joining me on the trail of the Class 25 Boba, and yeah, let's just enjoy watching it running on the layout. And thank you so much once again for everyone for your support on the channel, and thanks for your comments. I always look out for them. So take care everyone and enjoy. Take care. Bye.